We're back at it. Ace Attorney Investigations 2. We're in the Turnabout Legacy. Turnabout Legacy. Part 4. I don't know how to count. Long established this fact, it's fine. April 2nd. Oh, day after April Fools. Oh, anyway. They sure are taking their time. I thought this was supposed to be a 10-minute recess. Sorry to keep you losers waiting. But wait no longer. I won the race to find Alicia Stone, and here she is. Hello, dears. This lovely young man said you wanted to speak to me. Alicia Stone, purveyor of the most wondrous wares a pharmacist can offer at your service. Alicia to my pals, and even Miss Delicious to some. You can call me the winner, and I'll call you whatever I want. All right, Winnie Pooh. Whatever you say. It's lovely to meet you, dearie. So much for call me the winner. Oh, have we met before, young man? Get a load of this, Delicia. That's Miles Edgeworth, Gregory's son. Well, I never. It's a pleasure to meet you, Milesy Smiles. If you must address me by my given name, just Miles will do. Ooh, Greggy Peglegs, boy. All grown up, too. Make me feel my age, why don't you? Just how old she is. Yeah, 'cause that was 18 years ago, so she's at least in her 40s now. Eustace, I believe we have some questions for our pharmacist. I believe we have questions for our pharmacist. Because I just imagine her to have this, like, soft. Oh, yeah. What brings you to the gallery today, Miss Scone? Why, I came to see dear old Moody Judy, of course. We've been fast friends for 18 long years, and no one's going to stop me visiting her now. I understand that you helped look for Mr. Gusto in the immediate aftermath of the attack. Oh, I didn't do much, really. Just whipped up a quick antidote for the dear old doctor. Wow, you can make an antidote just like that? Oh, yes, dear. As long as I have the right ingredients, I can throw together just about any medicine you like. It certainly helped that the medical room was well equipped, though. We were much better off treating him there than losing vital minutes taking him to the hospital. Anyway, we did what we could. The rest, well, that's up to him. Do you know the victim, Miss Delicious? Oh, yes. Well, sort of. It's been 18 years since I last saw him. Apparently, he's famous these days. One of the best confectioners in the world, or so they say. Interesting. So he's a well-known public figure. Oh, yes, dear. He was on the news and everything. Confectionery crafting king of the world, they said. Wow, so the old dog really went to Zheng Fa and upped his game, just like he said he would. Perhaps if we could proceed to the matter at hand, Miss Scone. Are you familiar with a substance known as Infesticide Ultra? Of course, dear. Use it to get rid of, you know what? Oh, it's awfully strong, though. That's why they don't sell it in the shops. Might I ask what you mean by you-know-what? The little blighters that frighten the life out of poor innocent ladies like yours. Truly, that's what. Ghastly little creatures running around people's nice clean kitchens and terrorizing them. Oh, I get it. Oh. Thank you, Miss Stone. One more question, if you don't mind. Are you aware what happens when the chemicals asphyxium and ubiquium are combined? Oh, yes? It's right there in the Infesticide Ultra instructions. Do not mix with products containing ubiquium. Ever. Because if you do, they react with each other and make a horrible poisonous gas. What was it again? Effect of inhalation include respiratory complications and, well, death. Poor old Gusty very nearly didn't make it. To make that much gas, you'd need, probably 500 milliliters of each chemical, I'd say. He certainly talks like a skilled pharmacist. Ubiquinum's awful thick and sticky. It heats up very quickly. It's also bright red and smells minty fresh. Oh, and it's cheap as chips. That's why they use it in everything. Asphyxium's more watery and white. That will do, thank you. You are clearly well informed, Miss Scone. As well I should be, dear. After all, Infesticide Ultra is made by the company I work for. Gasp. Gas. Oh, but before you get the wrong idea, they don't go around handing out free samples. As I say, it's awfully, terribly dangerous. You couldn't buy it even if you wanted to. Yes, Miss Scone, very interesting. I think that tells us all we need to know. Strange. I thought she suspected Miss Scone. But something in that smile makes me wonder if she has some other angle in mind. So, like, Ubiquinum and Asphyxium, I'm pretty sure are not real, correct? I am not a pharmacist. I am nothing medical short of knowing how to put a band-aid. So, what is it? Detective Flatfoot, any developments to report? Yes, sir. Turns out the sculpture's glass display case is open from the top. Huh, that's rather unusual. And the temperature inside can be adjusted too, all the way down to 0 degrees. The Pisces case was kept at 26 degrees. Dang near got my hand stuck to it. We're lucky you escaped alive. Anything more relevant to the case? Yeah, they found something on the underside. They found something on the underside of the top part of the Pisces case. Traces of Ubiquinum. Oh, now we're talking. That's odd. There's Ubiquinum stuck to it. It should have stayed stuck. After all, at 26 degrees, it would have been frozen solid. It would, huh? So, how did things wind up as they are now? I think Kay might be able to help us figure out just that. Or at least, Mr. Thieffoot might. You guys are that desperate to get on my good side, huh? Fine, I don't know what the heck you're talking about, but take it away. I'm taking orders from this guy, but whatever. Anything for the truth. Bitch, can you just sit down for like 2 minutes? I think the braids wrapped around your head are a little tight, sweetheart. Actually, what you need is a man, frankly. Or a woman, I don't care. Something needs to jam you, though. That's the... Ooh. Before you get too carried away, the goddess of justice has no need of your help. We will find the truth ourselves. Ouch, why so frosty, Judge G? Your baby prosecutor just gave us the big thumbs up. What's the issue here? Oh, wait, don't tell me the committee has some dirty little secret it doesn't want us finding out. I am not required to explain myself to you. But if you feel that you must absolutely participate in the investigation, perhaps you can prove to me that it will be worth our while to keep you around. What exactly does she have in mind here? Who triggered the release of the poison gas? You need a release, bitch. If you can answer this question, I will consent to your participation in the investigation. You heard the lady's smiles? Somebody opened up the Pisces case and let out that gas. Did Considering what we've learned so far, there's only one person who could possibly be, no? Yes, the answer is indisputable. In that case, please kindly provide it now. They released the poison gas.
Take that!
The victim, Turnabout is the only person to have entered the autumn wing. Thus, only he could have opened the case. Correct. That appears to be the only logical answer. Very well. I will permit your participation in this investigation to continue. However, if at any point I feel you are contributing nothing of value, you will be removed immediately. Understood. Even if Mr. Gusto did open the case, we still have no idea why. This woman needs to get fucked. My God, she's such a stick up her ass. Alright, Mr. Edgeworth, tell me what you want to see. Let's use the data we've collected to recreate the scene before the poison gas went off. On it! Eek! Don't scare me like that. So this is what you were talking about, your mystery. Let's begin by examining the Pisces sculpture. I don't know why they did that with her here, but... There was a generous amount of ubiquium frozen to the underside of the top part of the case. Yeah, which is what's keeping that lid on real tight. The actual glass lid is all cracked now, right? Somebody really went to town on your little house there, huh, Pisces? And now, do we have any idea of how the glass lid might have come to be so cracked? Well, it doesn't look like the outer-facing... It doesn't look like the outer-facing side of the glass suffered any damage. I see, so we have a cracked piece of glass that we know is ice cold on its inner-facing side. We also know that it wasn't damaged in any direct way on its outer-facing surface. Thoughts? Ice cold makes me think of a way you glare at people, sir. Cracks. Makes me think about those deeply etched lines on your forehead. It was cracked by heat expansion. Applying heat to ice-cold glass from the outside will cause it to crack. Huh. Well, I appreciate the science lesson, but why is it all heat cracked in the first place? Why, indeed, a heat-cracked glass lid lined on its underside with frozen ubiquium. You look like the cat got the cream, Miles Areno. Y'all, can you just, like, say the dude's name? Because it pisses him off every time. You know what happened, don't you? I certainly do, and what's more, I know how Mr. Gusto opened the case. What? But you didn't give me a chance to figure it out first. Ooh, that's probably why this never got released over here, because these people are infuriating. You would have been quite late. Well, don't keep it to yourself, Edgeworth. I want answers. How did Mr. Gusto open the case?
Take that!
The blowtorch showed signs of having been used recently when it was found here in the autumn wing. I think it's likely that it was used on the glass lid, causing it to crack. A blowtorch? Who uses a blowtorch to open a glass case? Oh, I get it. Mr. Gusto was trying to melt the frozen ubiquium so he could open the lid. Indeed. You beat me to the answer by a second, but we'll see who wins in the end. Don't try and tell us you nearly had it. You didn't have a clue. It was Edward making things hard to understand. Okay, would you mind updating the recreation that Mr. Winter so that Mr. Winter can follow along too? Sure, sure. Just for him. Alright, here goes. Mr. Gusto was alone in the autumn wing. And while he was in here, he used his blowtorch to melt the frozen ubiquium on the underside of the lid. And? As the ubiquium melted, it mixed with the asphyxiant that was already present inside the glass case. Thereby producing our poisonous gas. When Mr. Gusto had finally managed to open the lid, he would have released the gas and poisoned himself. Suicide. He made it as far as the fountain room where he collapsed. So he opened the case and out came the gas, huh? Got there in the end. What the fuck? Why the heck-a-doodle-doo did he want to open the case in the first place? Not sure. In fact, we don't even know what his ultimate goal was. I'm thinking he might have come here for the same reason I did. To check out not the autumn wing, but the winter wing. You remember, right? I thought this was where the winter wing was when we first got here. Caught you out too, didn't it, Mr. Eddie Lumpkin? I was ever so confused with what it being where Chillywinks' room was all those years ago. There's even the same little tree in front of the blessed door. In front of the blessed door. Who wouldn't be at all sixes and sevens, then? Everyone involved with the ISX Center make the same mistake? IS7 and 7? I think we need to go and take another look at the winter wing. Time to see how quickly I can convince Mr. Winter, I suppose. Hold the fun. Okay, wait, so we got this. Yeah, winter should only choose. Oh, yeah. This is the autumn room. Okay, well, fuck me. Eureka, ladies and gentlemen, I have the answer. The answer to what exactly? Oh my god, just stop talking to him. If you stop talking to him, then we don't have to hear it. The man was going to end it all. Dramatic exit stage left. Sort of artsy-fartsy farewell. Have you been listening at all this whole time? At my level, I barely need to listen to a word, and I still understand exactly half of what's going on. Perhaps I can explain a few of the finer details to you later, Eustace. Winter's prerogative. Prerogative. Winter's... sure. Thanks, Gavel. Okay. Listen. The fact that she is entertaining this guy, this idiot, is an idiot, frankly. Like, I'm surprised he was able to even become a prosecutor, because they're schooling for that. And I'll bet you this dude doesn't even know how to spell his name. Thank you indeed. I find it's always best to leave things like child wrangling. In the meantime, don't you have something to tell Mr. Edgeworth and his friends? Oh yeah, I totally forgot. What is it now? I took the liberty of investigating our friendly pink pharmacist here. Or rather, I had one of my underlings do it for me. Nothing to brag about, you know? Shut up! Can't you see I'm talking? Anyway, let's put a pin in my suicide theory for now. Suicide? Oh, no. I have something more important to tell you. It's, Can y'all stop talking to this dude, please? It was Miss Delicious who set up the poison gas trap. Could you say that? I was greatly saddened to learn of this, Miss Scone. Your profession is one dedicated to saving lives, and yet you use your expertise to try to take one. I beg your pudding! How dare you! I did no such thing! I beg your pudding! I don't want to think about this woman's pudding, thank you very much. Perhaps you could explain, Mr. Winner? You bet I can. Get a load of this. This is Miss Delicious's. Okay, first of all, stop calling her that, please. This is her pharmacist's license. And it says it right here that she is authorized to handle Infesticide Ultra. A product that we have established contains asphyxion, one of the ingredients of our poison gas. Exactly. It's almost impossible for ordinary people to get a hold of that stuff. But Miss Delicious is no ordinary person. She's a card-carrying pharmacist. I didn't do it. This is all just a terrible misunderstanding.
Objection!
And that's not all. There was a bottle of Infesticide Ultra in the victim's pockets. And what do you know? It's covered in your fingerprints. Oh, shit. We know that you and Miss Bound took the victim to the medical room. What better moment to slip the bottle into his pocket? There was only one person on the premises licensed to carry Infesticide Ultra, and that was you, Miss Scone. Furthermore, you are acquainted with Miss Bound, the owner of the gallery, meaning you would have had access to the building and ample opportunity to prepare your trap. No, dear, listen, you don't understand. That Infesticide Ultra was stolen from you. Lying will only lengthen your sentence, Miss Scone. I'm not lying. Oh, it's in my bag somewhere, I'm sure of it. What is she looking? That's not it. And that's not it. Clock is familiar. Ah, here we go. I knew it was in here somewhere. Look. What is this? There's something written on it, I think. April 1. April Fools. Complaint filed. Offense theft. Item stolen. Infesticide Ultra. 1 bottle. It's a crime report relating to a theft. A what? See you silly billies. I told you somebody pinched it off me a week ago, no less. Wasn't that just yesterday, April 1st? By which you mean to say that it was not in your possession at any point today? That's exactly what I mean to say. I think the bottle you found might be the one I lost. I always have some in my medicine bag, just in case, you know. I'm supposed to keep my bag locked up tight, but, well, I'd forget my head if it wasn't screwed on. And now, thanks to silly old me, someone's gone and mixed up a cloud of poison gas with the stuff. I see. But why on earth would you carry such a hazardous substance around with you? Like I said, just in case, you never know when one of them might appear. You mean the ghastly little creatures that run around in people's nice clean kitchens type of them? You could just roll the newspaper and click. One and done. Are we talking rats or cockroaches? Because either way... Develop. What do I do now? Ah, of course. I think perhaps it might be wise to confirm the authenticity of the crime report, just to be safe. Can't hurt to verify Miss Stone's story, after all. She may be lying to me. Good idea. Alright, I'm gonna go get the precinct to call. Don't go anywhere. So, Miss Scone might not be guilty after all. Dude. Is she really with 1L? 1L. Oh my god, the typos in this are not good. Come on, Capcom. Issue a patch, please. If she really were the one who set up the poison gas trap, then I highly doubt she would have used a method that directly implicates her. So who do you think did it, Smiles? Someone with knowledge of the victim's likely behavior, the time and the means to prepare. Two factors which point to one very specific person. Oh, yeah? And who might that be? Don't leave us hanging, big guy. Who had the means to steal the Infesticide Ultra and dress one room up to look like the other? Was this bitch!
Take that!
Surely only Miss Bound, the proprietor of these premises, could possibly have prepared in such a way. We need some solid evidence to support such a theory nonetheless. So it was her, huh? Strange, it's like he already knew. Ooh, nice shooting, Miles Areno. I might have to make that associate position a permanent deal, but that is not what I was hoping for. I'm back with results. The police have confirmed that the theft really was reported and logged, which means we may have been a little hasty with some of our conclusions, team. And not every single one of your conclusions proved to be hogwash. But no, I mean, we're only just getting started. Oh, then what's our next move? Well, first we need to go and talk to Miss Bound. And then I'll think about what to do after that. Mr. Gusto's real destination appears to have been the Winter Wing. Perhaps it would be worth having someone investigate that room more thoroughly. Oh yeah, we should totally do that. Flatfoot, go investigate the Winter Wing. Yes, sir. Vale, we're going to talk to Miss Bound. Very good, Eustace. I'll join you if you don't mind. Alright, you have your orders. Go talk to Bound for me. Hey, Mr. Winter. Weren't we going to talk with Miss Bound ourselves? Sure, but I thought, why not let the grunts handle the grunt work, you know? Means I can just sit back and wait for their report. A winning strategy. Ugh, he's so exhausting. I need a break. Huh? There's something in the fountain. Yeah! It's a body! What on earth? Order! Order in the court! Somebody call forensics! Bad news, sir. Real bad news. Order! I will have order, detective! The ice sculptures in the Winter Wing. They've all melted. What? Huh? Say... What is the meaning of this? We now have 2 victims? Yeesh, talk about deja vu. It's just like 18 years ago. Even the ice is melted again. Again? This is like some weird rerun. Same people, same everything. I said it before, I'll say it again. This is no coinkydink. You're with me, right, Miles Areno? I am. And I think the answers lie in the IS-7 incident itself. In fact, I'm convinced of it. Great minds think alike. Alrighty then. Time for another trip down memory lane. To be continued. Yeah, at 29 minutes. I'm gonna keep going. Because that is not long enough. Keep going. We're gonna combine parts 4 and 5 together, apparently. Though this will just become more of part 4. I still can't believe the IS-7 incident was Gregory's last case, or that it's been 18 long years since. A murder at a confectionery contest. One of the participants, no less. Artie Frost. They pulled his body out of a treasure chest that was a part of Samson Tangaroa's chocolate tableau. He'd been hit in the head with a large rock salt lamp and subsequently bled to death. We found the lamp hidden inside the candy castle Delicious Scone had made for her contest. Then, before anyone had the chance to investigate Mr. Frost's own room, all of his icy creations had melted, clean away. 18 years ago. Dun dun dun! Pretty sure this was 2001 is when we're supposed to assume this was. Oh, look at the flowers in the fountain. That's cool. 2000. Wow. Cool. Anyway, moving on. All of Mr. Frost's work destroyed. Mr. Von Karma isn't very happy. He told us to get out and in no uncertain terms. So what do we do now, Mr. E? I can't believe you just up and kicked us out. Von Karma's a total jerk. You don't know the half of it. Now, Eddie. It was always the job of the police and the prosecutor's office to investigate the scene. Yeah, but he didn't have to talk to us like that. Who cares if we're cops or attorneys? We should all be working together to find the truth. You can't assume that everybody's aims are the same as your own. You may wish to expose the truth, but others might prefer to accept things at face value. Which way of thinking is right will depend on the person. But what if somebody innocent ends up behind bars because no one managed to uncover the truth? That's just a risk you'll have to take. Ho 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 ho. I don't know, I'm just... but what if somebody... Oh yeah. It can happen. We're all human, police and prosecutors included, which is why defense attorneys exist. Our job is to help people in just such situations. To be friends to the friendless. Friends to the friendless? Now, we may not be able to investigate the Winter Wing as hoped, but that doesn't mean we give up. You're right, Mr. E. I'm sorry. I should have thought more before I opened my big mouth. Yes, you should have. You're young, Eddie. You'll learn soon enough. I will, I promise. Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, you look like you could use a little pick-me-up. I'm afraid this is all I have, but please, by all means. Whoa, you're the best, Miss Bound. Tangaroa's favorite, handmade by Bound, rather misshapen and incredibly sweet. Thank you! A little sugar boost might actually help. Although these are too sweet for me. And a little uniquely shaped. They look like oops. I'm sorry if they're not to your taste. No way, they're great. They're so sweet. You're very kind. Imagine, me of all people, a mediocre confectioner. What? You mean you made these yourself? Yes, Samson loves chocolate, so I had to learn. Keeping him supplied with his favorite treats is just one of my many duties. You know what? She's what, 16? We decided? Yeah, I'm not gonna make the joke that I was gonna make. Although he does spend most of the time coaching me on how to improve my technique. Mr. Tangaroa sure is a lucky guy. Getting to eat homemade sweets by the one and only Judy Bound whenever he wants to sound amazing. I'm sorry, did you say something? Nope, nothing at all. You didn't say a... You really do still have a lot to learn. It seems you're quite committed to the work you do for Mr. Tangaroa, Miss Beth. Of course. What right would I have to stay here otherwise? I can't fault that line of thinking. What do you mean by that? I was abandoned as a baby, and Mr. Tangaroa took me home. That's right. One snowy Christmas Eve, many years ago, he found me on the steps of this very mansion. He saved my life, became the father I never had. I can never repay him. So my work for him is the least I do, and I'll be here for him for as long as he needs. Father-daughter. That's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. Must be getting old. Growing up a little myself. Oh god, you become more sensitive the older you get? I'm gonna be screwed by the time I'm old. And to think today is Christmas Eve. I can't even give him his present in person. I'd do anything to save him. Anything! Please, if there's something I can do to help, just say it. We're very grateful, Miss Bound. Perhaps you could help us by answering a question. Did you know the victim? Not very well, I'm afraid. Oh, but if you wanted to see some of his work, I have a picture of the sculptures he made for the final. My, they're stunning. Aren't they? I think they're masterpieces. Who would have thought you could make such intricate statues out of flavored ice? Samson adored them too. Oh hey, that's Taurus and Gemini, right? I didn't know you were keen on constellations in the zodiac, Eddie. Oh, I love it. The stories those stars can tell. Take Gemini, for example. See the lyre? That's what the harp is called. The arrow and the hold up. The lyre doesn't have any strings. Huh? Did Mr. Frost forget to add them, maybe? That doesn't sound like something he'd forget to do. Wait, really? But I thought you said you didn't know him very well. Oh, well, I just... He didn't seem like the type. She's got something to hide, too. What a bitch! People stop hiding shit from us, like, for realsies. You took this photograph yourself, Miss Bound? Yes, I use this instant camera here. It develops the pictures as soon as you take them. It's so useful. Ooh, I'd love to see it in action. Then why don't I take your picture? Yes, come on, Mr. E, let's get a shot of the both of us. Well, alright then. Shame to waste a good hair day. His father is so much down to earth than he is. So much more down to earth. Ready? Say cheese! There, all done. And the picture's yours to keep, Mr. Fender. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's such a cool camera. Well, it's the only one we've got, so we use it for all our picture-taking needs. Very convenient, but the lack of negatives is something of a shame. There aren't any negatives for us to reference, huh? Oh yeah, that would suck. I assume Mr. Tangaroa used the same camera during the contest? Yes, you assume correctly. He used it for some work-in-progress pictures of his seascape. And later, to take some photos of the other contestants. Oh gosh, I keep it yawning. But didn't you take a picture of the body when you discovered it? And didn't you discover the body while the judging was still underway? Ah, yes. Samson wanted pictures of all the entrance completed rooms. But the film ran out just as he finished photographing Mr. Gusto's work. So he asked me to go put in a new cartridge. Mr. Gusto's work? What was his work again? So wait. So chocolate. Oh, he does like the air blowing on the sugar. I forget what his actual... Have they shown us yet? I don't think they've shown it. They asked me to go put in a new cartridge. He seem to think there should have been more shots left than were. In other words, the film ran out sooner than expected? Yes, the number of shots he took didn't line up with the number of shots remaining. He thought maybe he just lost track somewhere along the way. Had he real? I went to our living area to change the film. It was passing through the fountain room on the way back when I heard the sound of something break and collapse in Samson's room. Samson, are you in here? Ah! Mr. Frost's body was just lying there. I was in total shock. It was all too much. But I remember I called the police, then I went to tell everybody else. And the camera, it's been with me ever since. See, I'd be grateful if you could lend us that camera on this picture Miss Pound. Of course. Here you go. Thank you. Detective Bad, Miss Scone. Are they done investigating? They're done with me, that's for certain. The big meanie told me to clear off. Honestly, that mannequin will be the end of me. The cheek of him! Guess he got tired of people cluttering up his crime scene. Did he run you off too, Detective Bad? Yeah, Von Karma seems to think I'm a nuisance. Can't do things his way with me around. Mr. Von Karma goes so far as to expect. Still got a pretty good look at the scene. As for Gusto, he's enjoying a nice little chat right now in Frost's room. What about? The fact that Miss Bound said she saw him going in there during the contest. Mr. Gusto went into Mr. Frost's room? That's right, and I have to say, he looked very much like he didn't want to be seen. I don't know what he could have been up to. Well, candidate number one at the moment is the guy who melted Frost's work. But is that really why Mr. Gusto went with Mr. Frost? Got a photo of the room right here. If you need it, it's all yours. Wait, what? Why would you just give it to us? I gotta spell it out for you, kid. I'm offering to help you guys. I want the truth about this case to come. Detective? Really, Detective Bad? Mr. Von Karma won't be very happy about this. Yeah, well, I'm not Von Karma's stooge. He's gonna stonewall my investigation, then I'm not gonna play by the book either. Can't let some pesky rules keep me from finding the truth. Now can I, Mr. Edgeworth? Indeed. Thank you, Detective Bad. Wow, I can't believe you won him over, Mr. E. Well, I haven't the foggiest what you're all going on about, but here's to new friends, eh? Definitely nice to have a good detective on our side, that's for sure. Alright, let's take a look at that photograph. Here. Dun, dun, dun! This is what Frost's room looks like right now. Yikes, there's nothing left of his flavored ice sculptures but puddles. The floor appears to be completely covered in a pale blue liquid. I should compare this to the photo I just borrowed from Miss Bound. I assume that the unplugged power cord has something to do with all this? Yeah. Once that was out of the socket, the display case has lost power, and up the temperature went. It looks like they were all connected to the same power strip. Do you have any idea when it was unplugged? Nope, it's still working on that. Those sculptures were beautiful. What a waste. You can say that again. I should have taken a few more bites out of them while I had the chance. So they tasted good? Did they ever? I've never tried ices so scrumptious in all my life. All my life. Really? Man, I wish I could have had a bite. Well, scrumptious except for the salty bit, of course. That was unbearable. The salty bit? It's in the other photo you got there. This bit, the harpy thing. Gemini's lyre. Wait, that's why it had no strings? Because you ate them? I didn't eat that much, you cheeky devil. I told you, it was all horrible and salty. It's interesting that only one particular part of this one particular sculpture tasted different from the rest. Did somebody other than Miss Scone really be responsible for eating the rest of the strings? Did you notice anything else, Miss Scone? Come to think of it, I did. There was a funny little mark on Chili Winks' work. It was 2 letters. Let me see if I can draw it for you. There we go. Yes, just like that. Almost like a signature or something. Wait. I just knew Mr. Frost wouldn't have made that harp without strings. He's not the type to skip an important detail. I hope you don't mind me asking, Miss Bound, but are you certain you didn't know Mr. Frost particularly well? What? No, I barely knew him, I swear. That's so. You certainly seem to have some strong opinions about his attitude towards his work. You know, the sculptures were so carefully made. I didn't think he'd miss something so important. I'm sorry, but I don't believe you. You have a more personal collection to work. More personal connection to his work than that. What makes you say that? I have an item of evidence that appears to have been one of Mr. Frost's possessions, and it shares a key feature with another piece of evidence. Well, I won't know what you're talking about if you don't share. So what are these 2 pieces of evidence of yours?
Take that!
Now a second.
Take that!
Miss Scone found 2 letters carved into Mr. Frost's ice sculptures. I think they were a signature of sorts. After all, it's not unusual for an artist to initial their work. I guess not. That's right, dear. It's just like you said. Chili Winks' statues had the letter PH carved in them, plain as day. PH? Shouldn't it be AF? As fuck. You'd think so, but take a look at this. It's the seal we found at the crime scene. It seems reasonable to assume that it fell from Mr. Frost's pocket, and when pressed onto the surface of an item, it would leave behind the letters PH. The same pottery mark we see imprinted on the bottom of the items in the tea set. The same pottery mark? We've already established that the tea set is the work of sculptor Paul Halik, who was Pierre Hoquet in the original, FYI, or the original. How can I say that? We translate the unofficial. From that, we can assume that these same letters would mark any item out of as a piece of his work. What? From that, we can assume that these same letters would mark any item out as a piece of his work. Mark any item out. I don't understand. Just trying to mark it. fact of which you are well aware, correct, Miss Bound? Well, yes. I know that he always marks his work with his initials like that. He's never revealed his true identity in public, so it's the only way to know his works are truly his. You mean Paul Halik was... That's right, Detective. Artie Frost had another identity. He was no ordinary confectioner, at least, as far as Miss Bound was concerned. For you see, Mr. Frost was... Mr. Frost was, in fact, none other than the famed sculptor Paul Halik. What? Mr. Frost and Paul Halik were the same person? But it's not like the mark's hard to copy. Anyone who's seen it could fake being him. Not exactly conclusive proof that Frost was who you say he was. There's proof enough for Miss Bound. What matters is that she believed it. His true identity will have to be investigated by the good people of the precinct. Alright. I'll have the boys look into it. I should have known I couldn't hide it from you, Mr. Edgeworth. So you admit it, you were aware of who Mr. Frost really was. I was... When I discovered his body, I saw the seal you found. Don't ask me how, but I just knew straight away that it was my dear Paul Halik. Imagine, his entries in a confectionery contest were his final legacy. Great man like that. And be honest, did you ever enter Mr. Frost's room at any point? What? Why are you asking me that? Photograph of Mr. Frost's room. I'd like to know when it was taken. Oh, I must have gotten it mixed up with the one Samson took during the...
Objection!
I'm afraid I find that rather hard to believe. You said yourself that the camera ran out of film during the judging, and that you've had to charge the camera since before Mr. Tangaroa had the chance to visit Mr. Frost's room. That's how you were able to take that picture when you discovered Mr. Frost's body. Oh yeah, I think it shows it right here. Suggests that you took only 2 pictures with the new film, one of Mr. Frost's body and one of his room. But I have a piece of evidence that says otherwise. You do? The piece of evidence contradicts the assumption that Miss Bound only took 2 photos.
Take that!
The camera? You gave the picture of the body to the police. The picture of Mr. Frost's room to me. Oh, and you gave us that picture you took of me and Mr. Edgeworth too. 3 photographs in total, and yet the film cartridge and this camera only has 3 exposures remaining, out of a total of 20. You took more pictures, and I want to know what I'll need to see all the photos you took. Perhaps then we'll finally learn where you really were what you really were up to. What you were really up to. I'm so sorry. I confess, I've been lying to you. Huh? These are all shots of Frost's room. I'm so sorry. Like she took pictures of his work from every possible angle. And when they were taken, the ice still hadn't melted yet. Wait, don't tell me. It was you? It was. At least, I'm pretty sure it was. You are? Why? Well, you see, I'm a huge fan of Mr. Halik's work, as you know. I was petrified that they might be ruined, what with the investigation that was going on and everything. So I thought I should at least capture the sculptures on film for posterity. And how did that make them melt? I think perhaps I was so intent on getting the perfect photographs that I might have tripped over the power cord without noticing. By mistake? Are you sure? I didn't notice it at the time, but How could I have been so careless as to cause the loss of his final masterpieces? That seems a little convenient to me. I'm not sure I believe it. I'm not in a position to refute it either. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. Please don't worry about it. The important thing is that you told us the truth. What he said. No hard feelings, Miss Pound. Thank you. Mr. Edgeworth. Picture's yours. Hope it helps. Two photos. One from Bound, one from... Are you infernal nuisances still here? You don't know when to give up. Linger for as long as you like. The answer is still the same. You are not part of this investigation. Whether we're part of it or not, we'll uncover the truth nonetheless. It seems you don't know when to shut up either, but I commend you on your stubbornness. Mr. Von Karma, I'm afraid I'm the one responsible for Mr. Frost's work melting. What? What is the meaning of this? I'm so sorry. And to you, Mr. Gusto. No concern of mine. I didn't do anything. And Mr. Von Karma agrees. Nothing at all, Mr. Gusto? You went into Mr. Frost's room, didn't you? Perhaps you could tell us why? Sure, Silence. You are not to give the attorney even the tiniest shred of information. Judy Bound, you're coming with me. I have reason to believe that you are an accomplice of the accused, Samson Tangaroa. No, I will be interrogating you personally, so you would better get your story in order. I understand. Wait, please. I'm not done questioning her myself. You think I care because... Bad, Gusto, and you, Stone. I have questions for all of you, and I expect answers. Fine by me. Ooh. You could at least ask nicely, mannequin. He took literally everyone with him. Indeed. Well, I suppose that means there's little point in us hanging around either. Perhaps it's time we got going anyway. It's rather late. Hope the snow is let up. You're right. Home time. Guess my stomach's in agreement too. Alright, let's go grab a burger. Before my own stomach starts grumbling too. Sounds good to me. Let's eat up and rest up. We'll need to be fighting fit for tomorrow. Well, indeed. And our first port of call will be with Mr. Tangaroa. To be continued. Yeah, and that's exactly why I combined those two parts, because that was 2 whole parts and we are still less than an hour, whereas some of these are over 2. But I am gonna take a break. I'm gonna do one more part today, I think, and then I'll finish the rest tomorrow. Or if you're on YouTube, next week. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. I will see you all later.